All right, this last video is just some troubleshooting that I had to go through as I was figuring this out and just some tips for you. One of the first things that you want to make sure is with your grid, which is that like landing page or your home page. When I first started this, I went through and I made it hidden and I said that I didn't want any notifications. Well, once you get everything up and running the night before, at least check that you have this on active, because if it's hidden, then if you give students the flip code, then FlipGrid will act like it doesn't even exist. So that was something that I had to fix. Another thing, same thing for your topic. You'll want to make sure that you have your topic being active. If it's frozen, it's view only, so they can watch everything, but they can't record. And if it's hidden, FlipGrid acts like it doesn't exist. The other thing, your launch date, if you set it for the future, and let's say you set it for a wrong date, that might be a reason why students can't respond. And then finally, if they can't reply, it's probably because you didn't turn on this feature, student-student replies. You need that feature on in order for any of this to work. So those are some of the first things I would check. Another thing I would check is, do you have your responses in the correct order? Do you have the ones active that you want to be active? If you're going to do it like I did, where it was daily, then you only want one day at a time, or maybe you want all of them. And then finally, I'll talk to you about the hack on FlipGrid of using the reply bubble versus the green plus sign. So typically when a student is going to, this is a student view, when they're going to respond, when I used this for science, we did click on the green plus sign because I wanted to see their response, and then as you can see, their picture will come up and you can watch it. When I'm using it for circle time, I want them to watch the question video, and then they can also watch everybody else's who's responded before them. They can watch that, and then they will click on that reply button and their little bubble will show up afterwards, and you can watch their response, and then they can flip through and watch everybody's. But if you're like me, you might have some of those students who, no matter how many times you read it, bolded it in the expectations, they were still so used to pushing that green plus sign. So in this case, I'm pretending to be two of those students, and one of them put something slightly inappropriate in their display name, and another one just thought that I didn't watch the videos and posted something. The good thing is I have on this one moderation on. Last March when I did this, I did not, so I had to physically go in and remove these responses. This year, I don't remember if they had this feature or maybe I just didn't know how it worked, but I have the moderation on, and you do that in your settings when you edit it. So I went in and told them the expectations ahead of time and said, you know, if I don't follow through, then my word means nothing. But I would message them and say, hey, I deleted your video because you didn't click on the reply speech bubble. Your response was awesome. Please try again. So then you can go through and you can click on delete response. If it was really cute or fun and you want them to keep it, you could download that video and that selfie for them. But I typically did not do that. I just said, hey, I love you so much that I'm going to follow through on my expectations, and I deleted your video. And this means that it wouldn't throw off your order. For that student that put something slightly inappropriate in their name because they thought that I didn't check this and it was a Friday and they were having fun, I went ahead and if it was an appropriate response, then, actually, I don't think I did. I think I deleted it because I said if you're not going to be appropriate, then you didn't follow expectations. So you could edit it if you wanted to, or if you did like I did, you could delete it. But one thing I did do first was I downloaded whatever they put and I shared it with the student and said, how would you feel if other people saw that you did this? So that was just a tool. Hopefully you don't ever have to go that way. If you have younger students, maybe you don't ever have to deal with that. But that is a feature on there where you could download their responses if you needed to have any kind of evidence, or if something was really cute and cool and you wanted to share it with families, then you could also download it if you have that permission and you wanted to do that. But like I said, if I didn't follow through, my word meant nothing. So I would just delete typically the responses and say, oh, bummer, try again. And that kind of cleaned up my area. The only other thing I can think of is just this active. Sometimes I would forget the night before to make something active, and so on my phone the next morning really early, I'd go in on the app and go ahead and activate it. So you can use the app or the website, and it works really, really well. If you come up with any other issues, I would love to learn how to troubleshoot, because I am definitely not an expert on FlipGrid. I just found out how to make this work. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a good time with Circle Time, and show me what you're up to. And just hope you get outside, and just many, many, many prayers for all of us as we navigate this school year. I pray that you stay healthy. I pray that we all stay healthy, and hope to see you outside.